take a seat, we'll talk about what we're going to do today and go from there, I guess. In case you're wondering who this is Rob. He does a lot of our photography and videography here. It'd be nice to get some footage of what we're doing today. So, when you see Rob, just smile and say hello. We're going to run through some, when we say self-defense based stuff, it's going to be a lot of, for example, awareness, reading body language, distance management, and then going into some of the other stuff that hopefully you wouldn't have to use if you do all the three before, but like Muay Thai style striking, where we're going to be looking to push people away with like push kicks, we've got low kicks, elbows, clinching and knees, and then finally going into some jiu-jitsu based stuff where we're looking to get off the floor, escape away from people, and just not get pinned down on the floor, really, that type of stuff. So first off, we're going to do like a little game to start with our partners, and it's a game of distance. Distance is super important. Where is Cheryl going? She's here. Right. Now, imagine we're going to be taking like a, I would say a fighting stance, but fighting stances usually have our fists up like this. A lot of time when we're trying to disengage scenarios, having your fist up, facing towards somebody, probably not the best idea. Yeah? So, palms facing out. Palms facing out is just as good. We never really want to put our hands in the pockets, cross our arms like this, because if somebody was to like grab you or strike you or stuff like that, you've got nothing to defend yourself. So hands are always facing out towards our partner. Right? Now to start with, if I'm right-handed, I'm going to take a step out with my right leg, and I'm going to have my lead foot facing my target here. Yeah? Now she's going to have her lead hand facing towards me like this, and this is the sort of game we want to be like almost fingertips apart from each other. We don't want to be any closer to that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to step forward, and she needs to step back. And if I step backwards, she can step forward, so it's a game of distance. Yeah? So if I'm here, like bring your hand back. If I step forward, take a step back. If I take a step back, she takes a step forward. If I take a step forward, she takes a step back. Okay? That's all I want to do. Then she can lead, so she can step forward. I take a step back. And I'm reading what she's doing. Does that make sense? And that's going to be our first little starting little thing to get us introduced to it. Anyone got any questions, guys? No. At the end of our demos, Immortal MMA here, we always do a 1-2 then a clap. I think you remember from last time. So we go 1-2 and everyone claps, and then we just get on with it. Yeah? Ready? 1-2. Go.
Hello. You go first, and then I'll go.
Exactly like that. Yeah. If you can touch each other, guys, you're too close. We've now got these things out. What we're going to focus on doing now that we've got the distance and stuff like that, we're going to focus on tools to manage distance. What I mean by manage distance is to keep somebody away from me, those type of things. So to start with, all we're going to be looking at to start with a lot of push kicks. Push kicks are a really useful tool to manage distance, okay? So if I've got here, knee with my partner, I'm going to make sure I keep my hands away like this, and my knee's going to come up, and then I'm going to push into my partner to keep her away, right? It's a really good tool. It allows you to make a bit of distance. So if I'm here with you and I don't want anyone to come close, I can push her away and then come back and make a run for it, just to create that distance. But a few of the coaching points that I want you to think about is the knee comes up first, and we're hitting with the ball of our foot, so we're pulling our toes back, and it's a push. So when we're here, I'm pushing and then retracting back. What we don't want to do, if knee moves back, is fall into the gap. Because then I'm getting closer to her, which is kind of like the opposite intention of what I wanted. If she does move back, you know what I mean, I'm still out there, you know what I mean? So it's important that we don't fall forward. So we're here, back, move down, move up. All I want you to do with your partners is stand with your hands up like this, knee comes up, we're going to push kick, come back to our starting position. Do not fall forward. Here, boom, back to our starting position. And if you really want to tempt yourself, get her to move backwards slightly, just so that you miss. So that way you're keeping your balance. Does that make sense? Ready? 1, 2. One more thing. Now, obviously when it comes to Muay Thai, when it comes to self-defense, yes, they are different slightly. We want to take a lot of the risk out of it. So in terms of like body kicks or head kicks, it's probably not going to be the best thing for you to do in terms of self-defense, because if you fall over, it's all over, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to focus on striking below the hips. We're going to look at like low kicks. Low kicks are really good. Imagine like you're just swinging your leg at somebody's legs. Yeah. So if I'm here with Neve, Neve's my sister, by the way, so I'm allowed to be a bit nasty. So she's going to hold the pad on her leg like this. My hands are out, and then I'm going to kick like that. Yeah. So imagine you're swinging a baseball bat at your partner's leg. Yeah. It's a relaxed leg. And all I'm doing is I'm stepping my lead foot out, so I'm turning this way. And my shoulders and hips need to turn the right way. And then my leg comes across there and hits the pad. If you notice, the kick is coming back to my stance after. Here. Yeah? I was talking to somebody over here about our hands. Our hands, in Muay Thai, we'd have our hands like this. Yeah? The reason why is because if you was to go hit me in the face or grab me, I can be here, grab the hands, anything like that. When my hands are down here, they have to come up to defend myself. So in relation to self-defense, if we have our hands here, at least they can do this sort of stuff. If she was to go to hit me in the face or something, like my hands are already here to defend myself, as opposed to having to come up. So what I want you to do now, we're going to have 3 goes. So we can either low kick or we can hold for the teep. And you've got to kind of read which one it is. So my hands are here, I can low kick. She holds for her body, I'm going to teep. See how I come back to my stance? Oh, it's another teep. Boom, there. And then I get to have a go. So look, I'll be like here, and she can low kick. Good. We can teep. There we go. See how like I'm coming forward and she can teep me? Keeps me away. That type of thing. If I'm here with a low kick, oh, you can take my leg, you know what I mean? You can trip me over. So these are the few things we want to work on. Does that make sense? Ready? 1, 2.
See who's behind me.
Start with your left leg forward. So you got your left leg forward. Yeah. All you do is take a step and support that way. Start with your left leg forward. Take a step. Support your leg. There you go. That's more hips. That's good. About closing, keeping distance, but sometimes like somebody gets close enough to you, you've got to think about what we're going to do in terms of like, if they get too close. So this time, she's going to hold the pad as if she's going to hold for a push kick, and I'm just going to hit a little lower down as opposed to like hitting her face. Yeah, I'm going a little higher with this. I'm going to hit an elbow. So see where my hands are here, right? Let's say she comes into me, I'm going to roll one of my hands over and hit over the top of an elbow. So like imagine my hands are sort of like, it's like in the way of the person, well they have to get past the hands to hit the elbow. Right? And we're going to turn one of our hands over and slash with the point of our elbow. The reason why I'm saying elbows as opposed to punches is because even at punches you have to be a little bit of distance away from somebody, and also if you don't punch correctly you're going to really hurt your hands. So we go elbows instead, and you probably generate a lot more force if somebody's trying to close the distance. And then she comes in, but I can even use that to block her, and then over the top. See how the hand comes down and over. I can go the other side as well. There. There. It's like a slashing motion. You know what I mean? So like realistically, you're going to be aiming for like the jaw or the eyebrows or anything like that. The jaw, you can get solid collection of eyebrows and start like cutting them open and stuff. But you'd be surprised like how sharp these are. But look where my hands are. They're not down here. They're up here. So if she comes into me, like my hands can sort of block her there. And at the same time, they can come over the top. So this time what I want you to do, I want you to do 3 kicks. She's going to decide which kick she's going to do. So I can go low kick, I can go push kick, keep her away, I keep her away again, I'm like, ah, okay, I can't stop her from coming in. So look, I'm going to hit the elbows now. Okay. fine. She's fine. She's hungover, by the way. Well, one more elbow. There, like that. And then I'll let her get a little bit of revenge. So look, she can do 3 kicks. Harder than that. Push me. And then she can't start me, so she's going to remember the hands. That's it. Think about the elbow. There. One more knee. Yeah. And then we'll swap over the pad. Make sense? Should we get going? Ready, 1, 2. I'll do a little challenge for you guys now using what we've learned today. Okay, I'll use you two, you guys coming out. Okay, so the idea of this is, the person with the pad now, you're going to try and close distance on the other person. Okay, so you're going to try and walk in and basically get to the point where you're that close to them. Whereas the other person, you've got to try and use all the skills that you've learned today to create distance, and if they get too close, start smashing them with elbows and whatnot. Yeah, so that's the idea. We try and keep them away as much as we can, and then when we can't keep them away, we just smash them with elbows until they move backwards. And we're going to do 30 seconds. Wanna what? Should we go? You just got to walk towards it. Let's go. That's it. Sherry's going to try and keep it either way. Don't let her get close. As she goes to round kicker, and you need to move the pad as well. There we go. Yeah? And then I'll say time. And then we'll swap the other person holding the pad. Does that make sense? Okay, everybody get in position then. One, go! Well, you guys, come in. So now we've worked to the point where we're trying to keep somebody away, and chances are, like, if it gets to the point where they're too close to you, you've got to think about how we're now going to manoeuvre this. So we're in a standing situation still, but you've made contact with each other now. They've gone to grab you, or you can instigate this and grab them first. So what we're going to do to start with, if I use knee again, yeah, it's a case of where I'm here, and it might be a case of like my back's against the wall, or I just want to engage the distance and come in now. I'm going to instigate what we call a clinch. But I need to go on the inside. Yeah, that's really important. Inside control is so important, because whenever I'm on the inside, I can manoeuvre somebody's body a lot easier than I would do on the outside. And even if I'm smaller and weaker than somebody else, I will have more leverage because I'm on the inside of them. I'll show you what I'm doing. If I'm here with me, and I've got like one hand around her head and the other hand around her head, and she's got both hands around the top of my head, like I've got a better chance of swinging her around as opposed to her trying to swing me around. Not that much. Whereas let's swap positions. So she's on the inside of me, and I'm on the outside of her. So now, you see how I'm trying? She can stay in her stance a lot more. Whereas when she moves, she's swinging me. That's because she's on the inside. We can break posture and stuff like that. So to start with, look, we're going to have our hand. This is why it's important to have our hands out, so we can use these things to come in wherever we've gone. So we can do that same drill as before. You know, when she steps forward, I take a step back. She takes a step forward, I take a step back. So if she steps forward, we do this in 3 goes. So we're going to back up twice, and the third one we're going to instigate. So we go 1, go 3 forward. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going back. Yeah? So when I'm reaching, I'm going here. But notice it's there. Because I'm gone back to start with, and as she comes forward, I'm meeting in the middle. And I want to think, she goes, I want to do this hand now. Look. 1, 2, in. This hand goes to the top of her head, my other hand goes to the top of her head. My elbows are in front of her, like her collarbones. I'm going to bring her head to my chest, like this. If she has her hips back, Like in Thai boxing, normally they'd have their hips really close to us, so they don't want to be kneed, but not everybody knows Thai boxing. You know, you can let go over. Yeah? So one way here, look, we need to swing there, foot goes here, turn, boom, boom. There's not a lot that she can do. Yeah? So look, I'm here, look where my hands are, that's important, my hands are important, she comes forward. 1, 2, and then as she comes in, 3, I'm in the inside, head to my chest, and make sure the head's down. If the head's up, I'm not going to be able to pull the posture. So bring your head up, see how her head's in, go to the crown of the head, pull her head down. Turn. Boom. Boom. You can let go of it then, boom. You go back to this sort of position. Should we try that? Here we go, just swap over and turn. Ready? That's it. Confidence with doing this as well. Now, I notice when people get into the clinch, they are getting into the clinch, and it's great. But what's happening is when we go to our knees, a lot of people go in. Yeah? You'll be like, we can. I want you to put your knees into your partner. You don't need to hurt them, but make contact with them. So what I mean by this is, come here with me. Boom. Boom. She can take that. So look, let's say we get to this position here. We're just talking about the inside control. What is inside, what's outside? I mean, put your hands out like this. Anything where I'm here, I'm on the outside of me, she's on the inside of me. I'm on the inside of me, she's on the outside of me. In terms of where my hands are going to go, focus on, you've got a ponytail, right? Ponytail. And then try and curl her chin down towards her chest, and pull her head down. If I hold her neck and she pulls her head up, it's going to be hard. A bit like, you know, when you guys squat. I guess if you guys do that when you're squatting, you're always told to keep your head up. Whereas when your head goes down, your whole body goes down. It's a similar concept. So when I'm here, instead of going here, go here. And then look where my elbows are now. I don't want my elbows here because that's going to leave me open to a counter, what we're going to do in a second, like the body lock. But for now, my elbows go in front of the clavicle. We go here. We can start here if you want. And what I want you to focus on doing from this position is, think about where the space is. If she's got this leg back, that's a perfect idea. Boom, hit me on knee. And I point my toes and just push that into her body. I can swing her, so watch this. Let's take a step on the outside of the legs. Knee. Knee. Yeah, so it's 2 steps. 1 on the outside of the feet. 2 and I swing. Usually that's the sign that's open to knee. So I've practiced already. It's like I'm in a sprinting start. Knee. 1, 2. Knee. Yeah? If she tries to back out of it, it's even worse for her. Yeah? Because she's going to get kneed. More so. Does that make sense? So give yourself a bit more confidence with it. Try and touch the knee. You don't need to hurt each other. Just touch the knees, toes point down like this. Make sense? Ready? 1, 2. So this time, we're using knee for Sherilyn again. Imagine, I don't know if you noticed, we've actually got sort of squares on the mats, haven't we? Rectangles. Think of them as like little areas. So this time, we're going to start with 1 person on the inside, 1 person on the outside. In the clinch, start in the middle of the mat. Doesn't really matter who's in. Now, if you notice, Sherilyn's got the inside position on Neve. It's almost like she's got an advantage. She's going to try and make Neve step on the outside of the mats, and Neve's going to try and do the same to Sherilyn. Whoever steps first on the outside of the mats, the other person gets a point. Ready? Go. There we go. So long as you've made a step. Now we'll swap roles, and now Neve gets inside and Sherilyn gets outside. Okay, ready? Go. There we go. Make them step. Now, the first person to win the best out of 3, the other person's got to do 3 burpees. And we'll do this over a 3-minute period. Okay? Should we try that? Do you want to know the rules again? No? We happy? Ready? 1, 2, go! going to be about like takedowns and like escaping out of takedowns and that sort of things. And we want to get you guys falling in a safe way. So what we do when we do like our wrestling based stuff, we do something called a breakfall. A breakfall basically breaks your fall. So you're not going to stick your arm underneath you and break your arm. You're not going to get all the wind taken out of you. It helps you with that sort of stuff. So if I'm in with Sheridan, we're going to do like a little exercise where we're both going to start in a squat position like this. Okay? I'm going to have our hands like this. Now, to start with, we'll take it in turns, then we'll turn it into a game. I'm going to push Sheridan's hands, and she's going to do a breakfall. When she breakfalls, she wants to make sure that her chin tucks to her chest so the back of her head doesn't hit the floor, and her hands slap the floor while her back hits the mat. We're not trying to brace with our hands, because that's where injuries happen. And you don't want to fall on top of your hand and break your own arm. So you got to think it's not just your body weight, it might potentially be somebody else's body weight also falling on top of you. Yeah? So when I hit her hands, she's, have your hands like that, she's going to fall back, and that's the breakfall there. Yeah, she does it to me. There. And all that is taking the impact out of the fall, our warm internal organs. It doesn't allow my hands to hit the mat, so I'm going to hurt myself or anything like that. All we do is we just go 1 for 1 on this for a couple of minutes. So she's here in this position, boom, and then she does it to me, like that. Does that make sense? Should we try that? Do you want it? Introduce ourselves to that. We're going to play like a little game with our partners. We're both going to start in a squat position, and the only thing you're allowed to do is push each other's hands. You must have your hands out like this. You're not allowed to pull them. If they, for example, if they fall over and their hands touch the floor, go on their knees, they lose, whatever. But if you do get hit and you do feel like you can fall over, that's when I want you to perform your breakfall. So it's a bit like real then. So if I use Sherilyn again, so when I'm here in the squat position, she's also going to be in the squat position, and then we're playing like this. Cheated. Yeah? So you're having to use your breakfalls in almost like a real life scenario. Obviously we're going to go into some takedowns after this, but I'm waiting to play this. Happy? Ready, 1, 2? Go! So, let's move on to sort of like closing the distance. We did it before with tie clinches and stuff. Now this will favour a shorter person. Generally the tie clinch is great for people who are taller than the other person because it's easier to grab their head. Whereas what we're going to look to do next is look to go for what we'll call a body lock. So we're going to go around centre mass, which is like around the body. We will share it in. So a body lock would look like I go underneath the armpits and I connect my hands like this. This is really good for me because once again I'm in the theme of inside position. I can move around my partner really well, and then also I have access to loads of trips and takedowns and stuff like that, which might help me in a scenario. Yeah, or even if I'm just like here and my back's against the wall and I turn around just to push her away and get away. These are the things that are going to come really handy and really helpful. Yeah. So the same thing as before. We're going to do it where we're closing distance. So when my partner's moving towards me, my hands are here, and then look, I'm here now. And I'm looking to connect my hands underneath both our armpits. And then from here, all I want you to do is hold on for as long as you possibly, well, we'll go, let's say we hold on for 3 seconds. And the other person's going to try and do their best to sort of push me away. So when I get here, try and push me away. 1, 2, 3. Finish. You'll do it to me now, so I'm going to move forward twice. 1, 2. Finish. Does that make sense? Yeah? Should we try? Ready, 1, 2.
Get picked. Actually get one with us.
What's the video?
I'm going to show you quickly how we would take somebody down from this position and how we could get on top of them and how we could use that to escape or land some GBH elbows on them, you know what I mean? So the biggest thing is, when we get to this position, it's about being in that line in a straight line. If I'm grabbing this double underhook and my hips are all the way back here, that's no good for me. I need to make sure my hips are in so I'm in a straight line. And then when I get there now, because I'm taller than a cherry, I can use my chin here. If you're shorter, you can use your forehead. And all it is, it's like a fold. You're going to fold them in half. So you're going to pull their upper body in, and you're going to step past their legs and fold them. Just like that. Yeah? Yeah, and obviously she's grateful. Yeah? Obviously this could come in handy, because if you get on top of somebody, like if I'm here, and she's still holding on to me, I can like push her face there. And I just land loads of elbows and stuff and then escape like that. Or you could just drop somebody and run away. So we'll go again. She can do that now. So she's in the inside position. Now because I'm taller than her, she might be better off using her head, and she's going to pull my upper body in and push her head into me. Now if I'm still holding on top of her, use it, that's it, she push my head away. That's it, use both hands. Go on. And now look, we're in a position where she can run to get out. Yeah? As a rule, I like to double up, so here. So we'll go one more time. So look, I'm going to try and grab her, she grabs me in the inside position. There. I'm still trying to hold on to her. And look, she can use that to work to get out. Does that make sense? You want to see her do it one more time?
Just another 3.
If I don't really know what I'm doing, it's going to be relatively easy to get underneath someone's elbows, especially if you remember the hands out. Stacking on. And she can get out. Should we try? When you want to? Go! Now look, with your arms, put this arm over her. So, put the arm over her face, make a bar, push to get to that position. Go back there. So, that's it. Arm there, bring your other hand on top, push. Oh, when you're there, smile, smile.
I'm going to grab them.
Hey guys, come here. I'll show you something quickly. So there is a variation on this depending on where your opponent is with their leg position. So for example, if I'm in a chair and I get to here and turn, and I get to here and she has one leg backwards to stop me from folding her over like this. There are different things that you can do. So what I would look to do is step one of my legs between her legs and then turn. If she's like staggering her legs or anything like that, if that makes sense. Because with this one, it requires both her feet to be together. We're folding her over her feet, what we did before. But then if she's staggering her grip, you're not going to be able to accomplish that. So this time, I want the person who's in the bylock to maybe like stagger their feet a little bit, and then we can try the other one. So think about when I'm here, so she staggers her legs, my leg goes on the inside, and now look, don't fall just yet. I'm just going to rotate, don't fall. Hop on this leg, hop on this leg. So it's like a rotation. That's what realistically would happen. They're not going to fall over straight away. I'm going to pull their weight on their standing leg and then rotate them over that. So I'll go one more time. In fact, she can have a go. So look, she gets to the body lock. So it'd be like this. See how my legs are a little further back so she can't hold me. Especially if I'm bigger and stronger, it might be hard for her to pull back in. So this leg goes between my legs. And now look, she looks to rotate. See that? This leg comes up. And then I fall. So show you one more time again. Look, she's in. She tries to fold first. She tries to fold. Come on now. No chance. She goes in. Where? Okay? Let's try that. Ready? 1, 2. So we're coming into the last sort of third of what I wanted to run through for today. So far, we've done like striking when somebody's at distance, grappling when somebody's like relatively close to you. But bear in mind, these are small segments of each thing that we do. There are so many more like concepts and techniques out there that you can explore. I just chose to use a few that I think would be really helpful for you guys and be applicable. And the last thing is finally, I think it's one of the most important things for self-defense, and it's the groundwork and the grappling. Like, I'm not sure where these statistics are from, they're probably from Wikipedia, but they say 90% of street fights or whatever go to the ground in some formal way. So knowing what to do when you do hit the ground is really important. Obviously, it's never really advisable a lot of time to go to the ground a lot of time, especially if his mate's around the corner and he wants to kick your head in. Probably not that advisable. But knowing what to do when you're on the floor in terms of getting up and escaping, and even just being threatening from your back is really important. What I mean, and even like holding somebody down and restraining somebody, you know what I mean? These are really good skills to have in your arsenal. Especially if somebody's really dangerous, you can just sit there and just wait for like the police to come and you're like, oh, I'm just going to hold you here. And then they're like, oh, let me go, you know what I mean? That type of thing. So the first concept I'm going to talk to you about is something we call guard. Not this type of guard with your feet. So let's say Cheryl is on the back. We use feet in jiu-jitsu to manage distance. We don't want our feet on the floor, guard their feet. The feet need to be facing towards your target. And the important thing about this, if I get close, you can use your feet to push me away. Either on my knees, mostly on the hips, so you don't need to keep me away, that type of thing. So we're just going to do a little exercise where she's going to make sure her feet are facing towards me. So having your feet just facing towards me, knees to your chest, okay? And then from here, I'm just going to walk around her body, and she's going to make sure that her feet stay in front of me. What I want you to try and do is not let your feet touch the floor.
Dead bug ladies.
That's it. So look, I'm just here, from side by side. Because it's important. Like if I come in, she wants to be able to kick me away, that type of thing. Whereas if her feet on the floor, boom, you know what I mean? It's not nice for her. Yeah? Whereas when her feet are up, it's harder for me to do stuff like that. Yeah? So look, I'm just going to move around slightly. And we'll move around slightly. Yeah? Keeping the feet in front of your target at all times, and it makes you a lot more threatening. Okay? And then all we're going to do from that, we'll do this for like 30 seconds, one person on their back, and I'll shout switch, and then the other person gets to have a go, and then we'll move on from there. This is just like the introduction to it. Anyone any questions about this? Nope, ready, 1, 2. So look, the next bit now is we've used our feet to keep the person away. What do you think you want to be looking to do next? Do we? Kick? Why? What's what? I'll do it. Why? What do you think we want to do?
Maybe more crane distance.
Crane distance, perfect crane distance. Crane distance to do what though? Crane distance just to lay there? Yeah, but what do we need to do before we run away? Get up, we need to get up. That's important. Just stand up, you know what I mean? So like, the idea of this is, I'm going to run you through this now. I want you to work this with your partners. So when I'm here on my back, my partner comes in, my feet make contact with her hips. Yeah? Now, the important thing is, if she goes to punch me in the head or touch me in the head, that's not good for me. Yeah? She punched me a lot harder. But one thing I look to do is, as she goes to like push me in the head, my hips come up. No one put weight into me. There we go, there. It's harder for her to do, so keep going. See, I can make contact, and then when I'm ready, I push, then wait, and I'm up. Yeah? We call this a technical stand-up, and it's one of the most important skills in jiu-jitsu you will learn, because you learn how to hoist your bottom leg. And this is the only way you're going to stand up while moving backwards. We don't want to stand up like this. Watch this. So even if I kick her away or whatnot, I don't want to go. Now look, I'm back where I started, and that's not good for me. I need to be able to create distance while standing up at the same time. So I'll run you through it really slowly. So she's in here, I'll make sure I'll kick her away. Now look, I go to like, imagine you go to one arse cheek. So instead of being here, I've got one hand on the floor. This is helping me to build height, this is base. My other hand's like this, helps me create. It helps me understand the distance. Realistically, if I'm making contact with them, I wouldn't want to stand up here because I'm gonna get hurt as I stand up. So I'll go back to here in this position. So if I kick her away, I'll go to here, she's back in, and she's already got, I can touch her hand, I'm sort of back here now. But if I push her away and I've got the distance and I'm here, look at this bottom leg. See, I'm hoisting it. It's a bit like a Turkish get up, isn't it? But I want you to come all the way to your foot and move backwards at the same time. And then we're up again. Yeah? It's a bit of a weird skill to learn, but this is the only way I ever know how to go up now. You know what I mean? It's the only way I get up.
I'm just thinking I'm going to apply that like at home, like now when I'm down. It's a game changer, really.
It's a game changer, right?
It's good.
It's not as ethical either as like getting up in other ways.
I might actually teach it like my grandpa.
Why not?
I feel like it puts less pressure on your back or like.
Oh, it does, yeah. You don't like here. If you can go to your knee first and just stand up like this. But I find it easier if you can come here, go straight to your hand.
Who knew there's so many ways of standing up?
Who? Well, no. There's only one proper way to stand up. So look, shoulders going to be on the back. So look, remember we're using the feet towards the hips. Knees are great if you want to kick them out, but if you want to push somebody away, it's the hips you want to be pushing. Because it's almost like as I bend over, it's easier. Whereas knees, it's going to hurt the knees and stuff like that, but not great for making distance. So we're here, she lifts her hips up so I can't touch her head. Oh, don't want to go back. And she can stand up. Let's do that again without me touching you in the head now. So look, as I go to slap her in the head, lift your hips. No, lift your hips. Push them away too early.
Okay.
Lift your hips. There we go. Do it in 2 motions though. Lift hips, pull me in, and push away. Yeah? So look, just lift your hips. It's going to be difficult for me, and then look, as I come back in, now she can push me away. Now she can stand up. Does that make sense? So we'll try both things. We'll try where we're trying to slap each other in the forehead. And we're lifting the hips, so when I'm here, but slap me in the forehead. There we go, lay under that. Yeah, see how I'm using my feet and my hips? Come on. And then we're off. We'll try that. Should we give it a go? Where do you want it? Now, we can also be threatening on our back. Not just defensive in terms of like pushing somebody away, but you can look to trip, like sweep, and you can also do like up kicks and stuff like that from these positions. Now I think these are really important to connect this with the standing up. You threaten them with like the up kick and stuff, so they try and keep a bit of distance, and then you stand up, or you trip them over and stand up, that type of thing. I'll show you a little bit here. Let's say I'm here with Sherilyn, and she's coming in, and let's say I've got one of her legs here, how can I have one? Boom, boom, you know what I mean? One foot makes contact with her hip, and the other foot's going to be like pushing up into her head, especially if she's trying to touch my head. Boom. And then I can not trip. But you need contact with one of her ankles. So when she comes in and she's like trying to hit your head or do whatever, we make contact and grab one of the ankles. It might be a shoe, it might be a sock. Most of the ankle works out. So like I said, when I'm here, this is if I can't make as much distance because she might be staggering her stance or something like that. But look, see how I can grab this quite easily. Look, you got the up kick straight away there. And when I think about it it's like you're doing a leg press.
Glute bridge, leg
glute bridge, that's it.
There you go.
Or we can even come over the top, boom, and smash it with the heel. Yeah? And then even better with this, watch this foot now. Trips. And then I'm just like, yeah, now. So this is like an added element that you can do. We call this like an open guard, because our legs aren't closed around our partner. But it's how we can stay threatening or be in the bomb position. So I don't know if any of you guys all watch MMA or anything like that. Maybe not. But whenever somebody gets taken down or somebody gets dropped or something like that, we end up in this open guard position. If you watch like boxing and stuff, you know they probably have like a standing 8 count. Whereas in our sport, in MMA, they don't. Like if you drop somebody, you smash them in the face on the floor until the ref comes in. Yeah? So what we have to do, we have to develop skills off our back to stop them from doing this, and we need to do this to get back to our feet, but also still be threatening in our own right. So I'm on my back, she's trying to come in, I make sure my feet are staying in between. Try and touch my head. There we go. Look to get up, or I can just look to push her away like we did before. Does that make sense? Should we try around with that as well, then we'll play a game? Anyone want to? we're gonna like do this all again. I'm gonna show you into the inside what submissions are as well, and let you play around with that. That will be like the last thing we play around with is submission. And realistically, in a self-defense scenario, submissions probably aren't going to be the forefront of your mind, being able to like choke somebody unconscious or anything like that. But at the same time, like you'll be really surprised what your body can do. And that's the biggest thing. Whenever we have people that start doing jiu-jitsu or Thai boxing with us, especially women, they're very surprised in the first few weeks how much their body can actually do in terms of damage to somebody else, or how resilient they are in general. And I think that's that whole concept of women empowerment that we're trying to get across to you guys today. So we're going to play a little task now with you guys, and then we're going to do some chokes on each other so you feel empowered. Yeah? So the task that we're going to play today is one person's going to be on their back, one person's going to be in the standing position. Person in the standing position, I want you to try and tackle them on the forehead 3 times while they stay on their back. Person on the back, I need to stand up. That's it. Yeah? Just we're here in this position, you want to go on your back? You want to go on your back? Just go on the back. So, we do a thing called slap and bump before we start. That's basically our start, and we go from here.
Damn you.
You're so close. So close. Yeah? So all this comes to do is we're trying to make distance happen. And if you notice, she was banging to her back. She's like, oh, I'm going to get tapped in the head. That's the consequence of maybe doing things too early or missing your timing and stuff like that. And one more go. Or, if you can, like, remember, you can also make me trip over and then stand up yourself. There's nothing wrong with that as well. There we go. Okay? Awesome. Yeah? So, should we try that? And then, if I tap her 3 times in the head, we swap over. If she stands up, we swap over and we can have a little bit of that. Does anyone have any questions about this? Now, obviously, tap. Big something to go as hard as you can. Just tap. And it's just an element of consequence, you know, that would have been a punch, that would have been a strike. So I have to be a little bit more careful with the way I do things and the timing of that as well. Any questions? Not really, want to? Go! I'm going to teach you one of the easiest submissions that I could probably teach you, but probably one of the most high percentage and effective ones, and that's our rear naked choke, okay, or an RNC, yeah? So all we're going to do is, imagine she sat down. We're not going to do the whole take the back, hit the hooks and that type of thing. That's more for like jiu-jitsu that we do. I'll just show you the mechanics of the choke. Now, if you can get behind somebody, we've got what we call a seat belt here. So we've got one arm over the shoulder, one arm under the armpit here. That's how I control somebody from the back and my head stays here. So if she tries to wriggle around or anything like that, this is quite tight. Yeah? So when we go for the choke, also my chest stays behind her back. That's the important thing, it's not my chest is stuck to her back. When we're here now, I'll go under the neck, and what I do is I like to grab the bit of the shoulder here. This comes in here, and then I'll choke. Usually you hold this for like 3-4 seconds, they're dead, you know what I mean? Like that type of thing. It's a bit of fun though. You know what I mean? So look, when we're here, this goes under in. Now don't try and strain and hurt each other really hard, you will hurt each other's necks and stuff. So just gradually apply a bit of pressure, a bit like when you're inflating a balloon. Yeah? The idea of this is, I don't need to do a lot of movement. When I come here, I get this all locked in. I can talk to you as well while applying the choke, and there's not much that, see that, there's not a lot that changes, yeah? So it's not a big janky movement. I'm filling a space, so I get everything as tight as I possibly can. It's a bit like, imagine you want to hang somebody. Yeah? Imagine you want to hang somebody. the most important thing is when you hang somebody is you got to make sure the rope's the right length, so it's tight enough to hang somebody. If it's too loose and their feet are dangling on the floor, you can pull up on the rope all you like, but nothing's going to happen. You know what I mean? So we need to make sure that this is the right length of tightness. So when we're here, I go here, and if I go here and I start squeezing from here, like, yeah, it will get out. But at the same time, like, it wastes a lot of my energy. But if I can get this really tight, and I'm like, okay, sound one. Look at that's already tight already. It's got to be in my next mirror here. Come here now. Yeah. And when we choke it, we're not doing a big yank even. I keep my head in place. I don't want the head to move. I'm just going to inflate around the neck. Okay. And obviously, when I say like, be careful with this, it's in terms of like, you could hurt yourself next if you apply it too early, like apply it too strong, and at the same time, like, it's one of them things, it feels quite nice to start with, and so like, it does, like you can hang around in there for a little bit, and you go, oh yeah, this is sound, next minute you're like snoring on the floor. Like, it's a blood choke, it cuts off the arteries to the brain, so you'll be unconscious. You hold it for longer than that, you're dead. So like, do pay a bit of attention to what you're doing. So like, we're here, I'm like, okay, maybe ask them, how does that feel? Oh, maybe getting tighter. Now when I get in here, I'm like, okay, I'll keep my chin over the top of my hands. And what I'm doing is slightly, look at my elbow, I'm going to pull it back slightly. Barely seen it, didn't you? Because I'm doing it so slowly. So that you barely see it. I just want you to practice with that. Any questions? Not really want to. This one, out. Grab your voice in. This hand's going to grab that. This hand goes to the back of the head. Oh yeah, great. Turn your hand to this. This one there. Put your chin over the top. Now just be very careful. Squeeze everything in. Yeah.
Record this. No,
Die just for Instagram. Go on.
okay, Jesus.
So, hopefully you got a little bit of value out of today. Hopefully it was a bit of fun and what we did. Obviously, we went over lots of different things. We did like the Thai boxing stuff with the striking. Then we went into more wrestling-based stuff in terms of taking each other down, and finally finish off with a bit of jiu-jitsu, getting up to our feet and all that type of thing as well. But yeah, it was really good, guys. But I want to thank Jay and Ben for bringing you all down, so give them a round of applause. Obviously they're very invested in like all your development, regardless of whether it's like nutrition and weightlifting and all that. They also think women empowerment is also really important, and we share those values here at the gym as well. We have our standalone ladies classes, and we have loads of females that attend our other classes as well. But what I want to do today, if anybody wants to sign up to any of our classes today, what I want to do, I'll give you 50% off your first month as a thank you for coming down today. Or if you want to go and think about it and message us on Instagram or whatever, you can do that as well, and get a bit more of an insight on what we do here. But yeah, I don't know how you want to finish off.
Yeah, I mean, thanks all for coming. I think it is quite a sad topic, really, that we have to put these classes on, really. But I guess the more empowered you can be, the more you know. And obviously, Reece and the team are amazing here. And I know some of the girls said, I felt so nervous coming in. But yeah, like, fucking hell, imagine if that was real. Like, yes, okay, it is nervous and it is putting yourself out your comfort zone, but hopefully it has made you go, you know what, I've actually learned something today, or, this might save my life one day, or somebody else's. So I really hope that everyone's enjoyed it anyway, because it was quite that hard. I know we're laughing at times, but it is quite serious as well. And like Reece said, definitely, I love it. I book on and do it. I did Muay Thai for a while and it was amazing.
You're coming back, aren't you?
Exactly. And it's really good fitness as well, so you class as cardio, ladies. Don't worry. But no, I'd encourage you to get into something like this, because it's very different to what you do, and it can save your life, unfortunately, if that ever came to it. But no, thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. It was brilliant class, Reece. Thank you very much. And thank you for volunteers that will continue to get happy all day.